there, beloved Ascension pioneers. I am back from my short retreat. Ever since Friday, I've been hiking, going to some valleys with great pure water, just chilling out by the water, going to the mountains, hiking these past 2 days. I returned home yesterday. I was at the seaside. It was very beautiful. I needed that self-nurture time. But now it's time for action again. I'm being guided to bust some myths today, I hope it's going to be a shorter video about these things that are very important, actually. I think this video is going to be quite spicy, not just for some, for everyone, because these are topics that people don't often associate with, that don't often want to talk about it. You know, it's like pushing away the dark, pushing away the things that we don't like to discuss too much, or things that we don't like to touch with our awareness. But some things still lack illumination. Some things still lacks of people speaking about it, because some things just really need to be spoken about, and I think it's time. So I know many of you who watch my videos are great, amazing people who are really doing your own energy work with your own pioneering spirits, guiding you towards whatever direction you're guided to take, sharing your beautiful love and light into this world. And many of you who are this way, and I know and I feel you, and we're all one, and we're all in this together. We're all walking this path. It's not sometimes very easy. It's how it is. We have chosen it. I oftentimes even hear that I'm very brave to do what I do, to be so authentic, and that's true. Why? Because a lot of the times there are a few people who won't like what I say, who will comment, who will have opinions, who will have the so-called nasty words will be thrown at me. Many things, you know, they just will act this way. Why? Because a lot of people still live in the energies of fear. Judgment is always connected with the energy of fear. Criticism is always connected to the energies of fear. Anything like that, of the lower, of the duality, is of fear. Because when you live into duality, you literally live in the fear energies. It's all connected, it's all one. So you cannot have one without the other. It's both intertwined. So I want to give this great example through the thing that I really, I got this inspiration today while I was running, and I think I'm going to give my example as to how this is in our lives and in grander reality through an example of things in nature and how people associate and react to that. We often show our character and nature through how we react. You know, many people still react instead of respond. So when you don't know all the facts about, for instance, a certain situation or a certain person, and then you throw little pebbles at them, or, you know, you just make your own assumptions and you want to generalize something, or, you know, I'll give you a few examples. You know, oftentimes I hear, not oftentimes, but there are a few people who are not as aware as, you know, that most people that I attract through my material, through what I speak of, you know, because like attracts like, but there'll always be opposites because we still live in the world of polarity. So there are a few those who will have their own remarks and opinions. And as I oftentimes say, I'm not about opinions, because opinions do not come from the state of love. Love is the love of all that is. That is all permeating force of all living things. It is not this God force that is outside of us. And, you know, it's nothing like that. It is the basic and higher truth. It is the energy that permeates all things. It is the consciousness that permeates all things. So we are a part of it. If there is no us, there is no greater God force. So it's all that is. And in understanding of that, your love transpires, move to a new level of love, to a love of all creation and a love of truth. And you understand the realms of illuminated truth. So those people who will throw remarks, opinions, make their own assumptions, basically they put this veil in front of them, and that's all they wish to see, and that's all they will see, because we create our reality, you see. We create our reality, but that reality is not the same as being real, because the true reality, that is eternal reality, is always the same. I was reading this great book, you know, that I keep reading because it's a fat book. It's from Dolores Cannon, The Convoluted Universe, and certain parts there are very good. You know, certain conversations are so amazing, you know, like this part when they describe the greater reality, you know, being a circle. And from, you know, from that point of observance, whatever you observe it from, it's always the same. It never changes. That this is the eternal realms. But when we see a certain point, you know, and then another one, you know, you look at that circle, you can see from different distances, from different viewpoints. So therefore, this is what I oftentimes call the soul truth, the personalized truth, which has nothing to do with eternal truth, the truth of everything, where everything just is. And the same thing is described in that book. It's like everything in truth just is. But you have to expand your awareness to really get to that realm. So a lot of the people who write certain conclusions as to what I say and make their own assumptions and basically say something that I really don't speak about, but they make that assumption, is coming from their own level of awareness, from their own viewpoint. That's how they perceive this reality, but that necessarily is not the whole reality within the eternal realms. These are the so-called realms of illuminated truth, the godly realms, and you need to expand your awareness to see that realms. You are all a part of it because everyone is divine in nature. But there are certain individualized aspects, because one soul, that is all that is, has these fractions and fragments. So it has these counterparts, and not all these fractions are really aware enough to perceive also this reality just as it is. Not it's happening right now, even that now concept. It's really well explained in the book. It's not that way. So when I talk about this, I want to bust some myths about this. When people say it's my truth, so therefore this is it. Not always so, because when your awareness expands as much that you enter the realms of eternal truth, you enter the realms of divine will. And this is where your consciousness is connected to, your awareness is connected to your consciousness, which is eternal. So this is the major difference. So when people, for instance, would say, lately I got this remark that I'm a homophobe because I speak about twin flames in a way that I make judgments about gay love, and I did never say anything like that. Love is love, no matter how it is expressed. But as our awareness grows, love changes. My love has always been the love of truth. I have that written in my biography, autobiography. If you go to my webpage and go into the section about, and you can read my autobiography, it's there. I've always been like that. My love has been the love of truth, the love of creation. This is what I serve. And many of us on this path, Ascension Pioneers, we know that we did not come to this plane of existence because we are not of this realm, but we also are, because we're incarnated here right now. So we are all one in this truth. So the thing is, we know that we have not come here to gain either friends or enemies or, victory, success, anything like that. We came here to speak the truth, and not just to speak the truth, but to be this truth embodied. This is the basic thing. This is the basic principle that keeps guiding us. So whoever is on this path of serving the light, because light is truth, in essence, then light has these fractions on different levels, and there are different dimensions and levels of awareness and everything. It's more complex than we think of it. We have this linear approach to everything, and oftentimes, when I read this book from Dolores, it says there that we cannot even, higher beings or higher consciousness speaks to, answer the questions that are received in a way that the answer cannot be given in your terminology. It's too limited. So therefore the truth might be distorted. So therefore it's not the truth anymore. So therefore we cannot explain it that way. This is very true because, the thing is, certain truths cannot be verbalized in a way in our language, in our understanding, in our linear approach, because in reality, that just is. There is no such thing as a linear approach. We have this aspect of it. So we know that we did not come here to gain friends, enemies. We want to gain people who admire us, who will follow what we do. It's not about that. It's about speaking and being that truth. So all those people who are so small-minded that they focus only on others and criticize them and put assumptions on them as to what they perceive that they speak of, because I've said this many times in my videos, when I say something, it will not be by even one single person received in the same manner that I have spoken it through my channel of truth. It will be individualized. How you perceive it, how that person perceives it, depending on their own level of awareness. We just have to face this fact. On Earth right now, there are so many levels of awareness coexisting together in the same reality, but they're not of the same reality, you see? Because when you incarnate, you can incarnate at a certain plane, and you don't have to be of that plane because of that law of free will. The energy goes where it needs to flow. So here's the thing. Many of you, I know, you are in this path, you are showing nothing but love, but there are also those who still live in the energies of judgment, of criticism, of doubt, of not trust. They have no faith. But, on the other side, love is inclusive. Fear is not. Fear is exclusive. And when you look at love, love is nothing but compassion, which is higher understanding. Love is nothing but respect and integrity. And this is truth. And that means to be that higher truth embodied. And for instance, when I say something about, let me pick this topic of twin flames, because lately I was accused by this person that I say this and that I'm this and that, which is, even when I mentioned the Christ of consciousness, I was accused of being dogmatic. Christ of consciousness has nothing to do with any religion. It is the basic seed of Christed awareness within all of us. It just depends whether we embody that awareness or not. I'm sorry for the sound. There's apparently this helicopter flying over us, amplifying what I'm speaking about. Anyway, so a lot of the times I'm being accused by saying something, but I need to clarify this. This is only the perception of that person that filters that truth, which I'm saying through their own mind, mind frame, filters, beliefs, oftentimes even patterns that have not even been, researched through the root, which is the cause of all this patterning. So the thing is, you have to deal with yourself in order not to be, with this veil. If you will focus on me and what I say and what I meant with this and that, you will clearly not get it. Because the thing is, I say things that are given to me because I come from that level of awareness that I can say them and I can embody them. It's not just about saying blah, blah, blah. Everyone can do that. You need to embody this. You need to apply this to that personal life of yours. And I'll give an example right now in nature. But let me just finish now by saying that as long as you will have this awareness, you will keep focusing on on the external, on opinions, and this is not coming from love. When it's coming from your own awareness, that does not mean I say certain thing. That does not mean that I'm a homophobe because I say that twin flame love is love in this realm, expressed through the polar opposites that are counterparts of feminine and masculine, even in bodies, masculine, feminine. And people who might say, oh, she's being very homophobic by saying that, will make their own assumption because I never said that. You see, I just said how twin flame is expressed. I did not say how other forms of love are expressed because love is love. Yes, that's true. All energy is love anyway. It's what creation is. Creation is love. It's created through love, so therefore it is love. But there also you have the truth. And truth varies, coming from you, your own personalized truth, and the truth that just is. It always is. You cannot change this principle. You cannot change how creation is made, how creation is created by your own personal truth. You could just not do that. So anyway, I wanted to say this. What happens when you come from this level of mind setting? When you clearly don't let this to come through you? Because, instead of judging me for saying these untruths about twin flames and other subjects, you have to go within. Because when you really will go within and you will get these answers yourself, when there will be from the realms of illuminated truth, they will come through you, not through me. But I say them to share them with people who are already close enough to get them on their own, and I just give them confirmation, and that's it. I'm not here to enlighten or teach anyone anything anyway. But if it will come through you, and it will come through you to be the divine truth. That will be the same recognition, realization that it comes through me, but it will come through you. Because it does not come from another person, it comes through you. When you know it, when you acknowledge it, when you embody it. So, now let me give you this great example. It is about nature. It is about how people often make assumptions and how this is so much shown, represented in how people treat animals and other creatures. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of snakes outside, okay? And I've heard even some myths. Then I was reading about the snakes because I wanted to be informed what the reality is. Are they dangerous? Do they attack? Do they, bite? Things like that. Let me say this. All these things that people believe about snakes are unreal. They're myths. They're pure myths, verbalizing itself from one human to another, blah, blah, and so forth. So what you get is a myth. That's what happens when you don't go within and when you don't interact in a certain experience. So only when interacting with yourself, your inner realms, through experiencing it, you will truly understand the truth. Not by what has been given to us through eons and eons of time, because there were a lot of layers of dense material, hidden, hiding that truth, okay? So here's the thing. What people believe is, these snakes will attack you. You need to kill them. And what people do, oftentimes they will see a snake in nature, they'll kill it because they will believe they will attack them. And there are many other myths, what snakes do, how they feed off cow's milk, how they come to a cow and they bite it, it's such a stupid thing. When you read about them, you think, oh my God, humans really believe that? And the answer is yes, they do. And they believe that, and they react a certain way. They don't go forth letting the nature show its principles on its own, letting the true nature be revealed on its own. What they do is they make an assumption and they react according to that assumption. So they end up killing the snakes, spreading further myths about them, and just putting lies out there which are not true. Basically, snakes are really peaceful creatures. They will not bite you. If you will, of course, step on the snake, it will feel threatened and it will bite you. But even those poisonous snakes, they're not all deadly poisonous. When you get vaccinated, it's more poisonous than the actual bite of the snake. So see how basic human reaction, how human nature is? They won't even allow nature to truly reveal its true nature. The animals to reveal their true nature. They will have these myths and they will react, they'll have opinions, they will just make things that will keep repeating the same old patterns over and over again. What you need to do, you need to step out of that. You need to step out of that comfort zone, of the zone of duality, of polarity, of opinions, of these dogmatic beliefs, of someone else telling you your truth. You need to step into that vortex of empowerment. Because what happens, I speak a lot about the connection with I am presence. What happens when your I am presence is being anchored in your physical vehicle is it goes through your inner knowing, speaking it, going through the heart, meaning opening your heart in order to, lower. You have the belly, you have the solar plexus, the empowerment chakra. So you need to live from the heart, that divine truth, live from the heart in order to become self-empowered and then ground it in your lower chakras, into the earth. That's why this is so important. So you need to live your own divinity. You see your own I am presence working through you. These are all myths. So I wanted to speak about this, about basic human nature, how oftentimes there's still so much judgment. And a lot of these people who use curse words, bad words, opinions, who will really be targeted at someone, who will be mean to other people, they will just look at themselves in their own mirror. Because I just read this great quote, I think it was last week, that as long as you keep defining someone else, you just define yourself, you just describe yourself. So keep remembering that. Don't let appearances fool you. Don't let outer sentences fool you. You gotta live and experience your own truth. And when you'll get to that level of awareness, you will see what I'm talking about. You will know. You will know that it can come only through you. And then you will know that the reality that always just is, it is always changing. These are the denser physical realms. But in fact, in its basic core, the ring of fire, the quantum level, it remains always just being. It just is. And that is always as it is. We do change our perception when we move from one level of awareness to another. When we expand, we change our approach. We see things differently. The more we expand, the wider we see. But the reality just is. I'll leave you with some quotes right after this. I hope this video wasn't too spicy, but I know that all those of you who are pioneers understand what I'm talking about, because you understand it from yourself. Because when we resonate with something, we don't really resonate with someone else. We resonate because we are energetically aligned with what someone else is saying or what we read or whatever, because it's coming from us. So it's not, when you listen to me, it's not coming from me. If it resonates, it's coming from you. When something does not resonate, it either means that it's false, that it's non-truth, or that you're not ready yet, you're not prepared yet, because it's not, your awareness is not expanded enough for you to get something, so you don't resonate, or it's not on your path, it's not on your journey, and that's it. But you have to go within to see which of these that is. So anyway, dear Ascension Pioneers, keep experiencing, keep observing, like I always say, and don't be bothered if you're being bullied sometimes too, because we need to be brave. I will not stop recording my videos just because some bullies will put some bad words out there, okay? I'll continue to be here with my presence, and even if I'm not here, I'm still here. Anyway, take care, guys. Lots of love to you. Bye-bye.